Hey everyone, welcome back from the long weekend. Hope it was good for y'all.
Morning, Avi.
Morning. Feel like I haven't seen you guys in a while. I was getting some withdrawal symptoms yesterday. It's good to be back. All right. There we go. Everyone's bright and perky. Look at that. Awesome. All right. So, yeah, we are recording. We got a screen share. All right. Kyle, the sunset. Sunset's beautiful, man. I have more interest in the sunset than I do in trading. This trading's a joke. I mean, look at this market. Can't take it seriously, huh? All good. All right. Anyways, for me, I had a look a little bit ago, and there's some trouble in the news, rather, no, news events. So let me look at that again properly now. We had stuff at 8:30, 9, 9, 10 o'clock. Yeah. Consumer confidence stuff comes out at 10 a.m. So around about that time, I don't want to be in a position. So that doesn't mean I won't trade the open. If I get a setup early, by early, I mean after the first 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, I'll take it. 15 minutes close within the 10 a.m. So about 9:45 onwards, I don't want to get into anything. So that's kind of my plan for the open as far as trading when the news comes out. And then we have, yeah, the Dallas Fed manufacturing stuff that comes at 10:30 as well. So that's going to keep me out as well. So from 10 to 10:30, I'm not going to be in anything. And then something else coming out at 11:30. So there's an hour between the volatility ending from the 10:30 news till close to 11:30. It might be about 40 minutes worth of time where I may be able to put on some risk. And then for the rest of the day, it's pretty clear. So a bit of a stop start for me, at least this morning. But it's all based on the news. Anyways, first thing is the first 30 minutes. Well, the first thing is to get through the first 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. Make sure you avoid the chop. And if there's something, get in and get out before 10. So at least that's my strategy so far. Other than that, let's look at what the candlesticks look like. SPY chart here, levels here. What do we have? Went down, gapped up. You can see that it's been consolidating mostly up here near the top. It's pushed down a little. So breakout to the top side is very encouraging. I don't see a lot of trouble up there. It went up there, it came down there, not a lot of trouble. It's pretty smooth. And if that happens early, no big deal. I could take something like up there. Halfway through is where I'd like to de-risk it because it's a decently large range. It's what, 589 to 592. Call it $3, $3.50. What I'm likely to do is go out of the money. Let's see where I can get it. If I get an entry up here, I'd like to take the 590 call options out of the money. If there's momentum, if something pops up within the first 10 minutes, and then partial it out as we get through 590. So it's more of a scalping mentality to start with. And then we'll see what happens later. So that's what I have on my mind for the open. Then let the 10 o'clock news pass and we'll see. But who knows? I mean, the price may not even get there in the first 5 minutes, in which case I won't even look at it. All right, that's the plan. Who else wants to talk about what?
Hey, Avi, what if he is trying to go down? So if I know that the upward plan is good, how about the downward?
I don't see a consolidation down here that's already happened. I need at least one 30-minute candle, a small one, something like this, sitting down here. I mean, that's a minimum. And then a breakdown. So it's going to be a while before anything pops up. Anything shows up. It'll be after 10:30, after 11, if I start even considering that area. Again, it might go straight at the open. It might just go straight down. But I'm not interested in that. That's not my strategy.
If it goes down at the market open, you're not going to touch it.
Yeah, I'm sitting out. Yep. So there's a 95% chance, basically, that I won't trade anything until about noon today. just based on the setup that I'm seeing so far and everything on the calendar. Because most of my trading is kind of longer term, where I get in and I expect it to take a couple hours to get to the target. And today there's news every like what 30 minutes or so. So that becomes difficult. So that's why.
You shared an Instagram post in the psychology that the channel was very interesting. I don't want to just talk about it too much, but
Yeah.
one of the things that he was saying that plan your setup to be boring intentionally, and you will see the results.
Yeah.
And I see that in your way of training. It's boring, but then you see the results. Yeah.
Bringing it up, and yeah, that's for everyone else in here. When you're getting bored with your trading, when you're planning boring trades, and you're getting bored just waiting for it, and then getting bored after you enter, now you're doing it right, and the results will tell. Yeah, thanks, Askar, for bringing that up. That is a very good point. I've my results have gone up dramatically since I kind of adopted that idea. So take it slow. Take it slow. I may not even get a trade today. I don't know. We'll see. I have no
Another
idea.
point that was saying that channel was that if a trade is exciting you, it means that it's already exhausted, that you're
Mm-hmm.
too late to that.
From the investing world. Freaking Nvidia ran up 100% in 3 months, and then people started getting excited and get all excited. You know what happened there? They lost everything. This was 2023, 2024, even recently. I mean, I know. Buy it when it's all euphoric. Yeah, good points. Very good psychological stuff, right? This is the stuff that keeps you in the game. Once you understand the contrary thinking, I mean, to begin with, we're trying to make a living out of day trading, or at least some income out of day trading. That on its own is very contrary thinking. I mean, we're all meant to be, struggling with debt and be stuck in the rat race. That's what we're meant to be doing. That's society. That's civilization's modern design. But we're all choosing to be rebellious and be here. So might as well continue with the contrary mindset, right? It's very rewarding. Very rewarding. So yeah, no, good points. Hey, good way to start the day, Asgard. Thank you. Definitely got my head in gears. Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that channel.
yeah, for sure. Just friend sounds like you got a hot mic or something there.
Sorry, sorry.
Cool. All right. So today all of you are in for another treat. I've got you all to myself. Thor's not gonna be here. So we get to misbehave again. Fun, huh?
Happy Hour Tuesday.
Oh yes. It's always happy hour. Any excuse for happy hour. Oh man. Love it. All right. Cool. Let's get all these distractions out of the way. You know what? I'm gonna look at the 1 minute chart here and see what it looks like. Look at that. This is interesting here, where you have the 1 minute chart consolidating, but then the 8 a.m. candle making that. Well, that's 80. What is it, 802? Whatever. My 30-minute 8 a.m. candle. The high is higher. So it's gonna be very tricky. What I expect will happen, it could, if it goes up to the pre-market consolidation area up here, about 588.40 or so, it's likely to consolidate, then break out. But then I would need to have another consolidation before it breaks out of the real volatility high, and then a retest. It's going to be a tricky one to catch. And oh yeah, we do have 589 there. If I can get an entry here lower and get the 589 calls, it's a scalp. Again, none of this may happen. I don't want to enter below that burgundy line. Definitely not. Only above. So either a breakout or a retest of a breakout, depending on how it behaves. Ideally, a good retest, and off we go. But we'll see. We'll find out. Man, this thing is so loud. There we go. Gurinder, yeah, you're new in here, huh? Welcome. First day out. Any catalyst for this gap? I have no idea. I would assume Trump tweeted something. Why is there a gap? It's usually that. But again, my style is I don't really care too much why there's a gap. What I care about is there is a gap, right? And I factor that into my candlestick reading, which is in this case, it's just you could consider it a big ABCD pattern. It was down here, went up with a gap, which is an aggressive move up, and a continuation. So the breakout. That's about it. Why it happened, I don't care. None of my business, really. I have other things on my mind. I'm going to spend hours and hours trying to figure out why things move in the market. You drive yourself nuts doing that. There's millions of people.
FYI, Avi, it was Trump had paused the EU tariffs until July 6th for a negotiation with the chief over there.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Piyush.
Sir.
So now, if you guys like reading the news and trying to make a trading decision based on the news, so there's a delay in that. So generally a bullish idea, but you can see it's gapped up already. Now you have to think, has it gapped up and is going to continue up, or is that as far as it's going to go? It's going to get choppy, or is it now oversold and call it too high up and it needs to sell off? Make your decision based on. You can. I don't like doing that. I'd rather wait for the candlesticks to tell me what to do, right?
Avi, can you take a look at Tesla and zoom out on the 30 minutes? I just want to look at the past couple of days on the Tesla that it was playing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And if you can set the levels, maybe.
Yeah. There you go.
What's up, Avi?
Hey, Thor. Oh, you're in here. Good, man.
Yeah. Paris jumped in. Andrew's in Italy living the laptop lifestyle, but his laptop is not working. So,
Good. All right, you're right on time. We're just about talking about Tesla. Yeah, go ahead, Oscar.
I'm just looking at that. It was just keep hitting that high level. Yes, past couple of days, except one day that it just went down. But you see that in the previous days, it's go down. So I'm just want to see your analysis in terms of what is happening.
Yeah. So zoomed out like this, it's basically in an area of chop, but it's near the top end of it. So again, a breakout is something to think about. Same idea as the SPY. To my eyes, it's the same thing. And realistically, this breakout of 350 is very interesting. Every time it's done that, it's been a spike and a push back down. Now, ideally, you want it to not just spike, you want it to really run, right? But because you know it spikes in that area, if you're going to catch a long breakout, you're going to scalp that. It's going to go fast. It may quickly just come against you as well. So it's very hard to trust. So I would get in and I would de-risk it quickly if I was trying to think about a long up here through this 350 zone.
Tesla is they're pulling a lot of their orders right now, which is interesting. They're anticipating the open, it looks like. So this is one of the reasons why it's so hard to trade the open and like a few minutes before the open, because basically we turn into a low float, right? All of the market makers pull all of their orders off the books because they want to see how we open before they tier in. So this is why it gets so nasty. But right now, we've got a pretty solid order block around like 349 and then another one to the lower 347. So it's so those are, that $2 range right there seems pretty interesting on Tesla, 349 to 347.
All right. Yeah. So all within the 8 a.m. candle is within the pre-market. So that is a choppy area, but you could get some.
Where's your high? 349.55 is where you are. Yeah. Super obvious order sitting right at 349.50. So that makes a whole lot of sense too. It'd be kind of cool if we could get a little squeeze and then a sell right off of the top there.
Interesting. Yeah. Let's see. Let that momentum come and tell us which way it wants. But it's very interesting. Again,
and that is the R3 as well, Thor. That is that 349.98. I think is the R3. So it could be it is a lower range as well. So
R3. All right. So that's R3 resistance. Is that how you use
Order
it?
just came through. Yeah, R3. R's are resistance, S's are supports.
Okay.
Although S4 becomes a new resistance if you get underneath it. And R4 becomes a new support if you get once you get above it. But so yeah.
Nice. So it's exciting. I think today, you guys, again, for you opening momentum traders, I think you'll have good fun just with the Mag 7. For my style, it's going to be a very slow kind of day.
I doubt I'll have many trades, if any, before 10 o'clock. With the news coming out at 10, and I trade. Avi, you and I are the same. We both trade fairly market sensitive instruments, so it's hard to get into one of our positions knowing there's news coming in 30 minutes, unless you see something really good. So.
Yep, that's exactly what I was saying before you showed up. I'm likely to fall asleep before I take a trade. So we'll see.
My pillow day.
Cool. All right, guys.
A little ding, ding, ding here in a second.
Yeah, market's about to open. Thor, if you want to share your screen, others would be interested.
Oh yeah. I forgot. Sorry.
No worries. And yeah, you go, guys. Take it easy. Wait for your setups. The market is a gold mine. Oh, and look at that. A tow truck just showed up. There you go. I'm taking my truck. I love it. Right before the market opens. Bye.
It's like you're trading at Andrew's old office.
I was
All
expecting.
right, I have mine up. Remember, when I share, it may auto pin. If it does, unpin, and you can go find Avi's screen or his webcam, whichever you prefer to watch.
Shutting the webcam.
Turning off. Oh, man, that's too funny. I'm sorry.
All right. Tesla SPY. That's all I've got for now. What do you got? Talking about Amazon in here?
The NQ took a really big sell into the open.
Ooh. Yeah. You see, the SPY is so far away from my level. Even if it gets there in the first 5 minutes, it's probably going to just need to wait there for a while before it runs. So it's a no-go for me. There goes Tesla now, right as we were talking about, that range, that level, straight to the top. Now keep an eye. This is where you don't chase it.
NVIDIA looks like it could be a potential breakout to the top side right now, which is interesting.
NVIDIA. Oh, there it is.
Right off of R4. It's a really lovely spot.
So that's interesting on Tesla as well, guys. Broke right through 350 so far, holding nicely above. But this is stuff you want to, again, you're watching momentum. You're not planning to hold this for $5. Keep an eye on that. What am I looking
So
at?
far since the open, the ES is doing a lot of selling. So even though we moved up in price, that move up was entirely on selling. So it was a reoffer by the algorithm for our sellers, and they came right in. So far we're actively selling on the ES.
So difficult to trust the moves up is that conclusion, right?
At least in the moment. There was a market structure shift as well, where they actually re-tiered the entire book to the downside. So it looks like we're actively selling right now.
Yep. There goes. NVIDIA broke down through the level. SPY is weak as well. And Tesla is struggling to move up. It did a strong move so far, but that's it.
All right, moment of truth here.
Tesla high of day. Let's see. No, yes, there goes a breakout. Yep. You guys saw that happen? As Tesla broke, it jumped right through that resistance. This is all scalping. You're scalping it up through 353, 353.40, all in that area.
Okay. It's really interesting. We're kind of holding up here a little bit now. They're trying to re-tier, so it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do. A little buying came in there on the market.
You guys, NVIDIA is very interesting to my eyes. You had the 1 minute ORB. The third candle now is retesting the bottom of the first candle. You see that? Minor levels. So that's healthy, as in for a move down. You have support. It broke out, retested it on the third candle. And if you have a thesis on the short, at least so far, the 1 minute action is confirming the thesis. I don't have any thesis on this, but that's kind of.
We had a pretty hard sell into the open, and we've been selling since the open. So I wouldn't feel comfortable with a long on NVIDIA unless it made a very significant new high. So, I mean, I'm with you.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting today already. We are 4th minute. The SPY has gone nowhere, so no trade for me.
Mhm.
Nothing's gonna happen for me until probably after 10:30.
Yeah, we'll see how that offer comes through. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab me a fresh drink. I'll be right back.
Yep. All right. So there goes Tesla, guys. For those of you who like scalping it. What was interesting is when it broke through 350, it held above. That was a point of interest. But then there's sellers up there. Again, it's very hard to put on some heavy risk on this stuff. That's why I don't do it anymore. Man, you got in Tesla. Epic. I bet you got in real early, huh? First minute. Nice. There goes NVIDIA. Watch that ORB to the down. This is a 5-minute ORB setting up, but also a reverse ABCD after a 1-minute ORB. All so far looking healthy for the move down on NVIDIA. But again, I don't like to just trade the 1-minute chart. I lean on the 30-minute for a thesis first and then let the 1-minute confirm it. So if I had a thesis, a short off of this level, then I'd wait for it. Wait for this 1-minute action to confirm it. There you go. Tesla hit a level. Anyone want to know why Tesla rejected 353.44 precisely? Anyone want to guess?
Oh, let me guess, Avi. Let me guess.
Let's see. What could it be?
Come on, guys. We do this every day. Yes. For the newcomers in here, I'll let you guess. Or let someone tell you because I'm not going to tell you. But there you go. How precise is that, huh? Pretty cool. Avi8ors stuff. So, NVIDIA coming into play. SPY going weak, not shorting it. Definitely not shorting the SPY. See that? It broke through my 30-minute level, the Avi8ors level, but there's no thesis to go short here. It's not one of those very neat consolidations to a breakout. You could kind of say the highs are getting lower, but this is not convincing. And with the gap up, it's just very hard. So I don't trust it. Not going to do it. Let it go if you want to.
It's coming for the gap fill.
Yes, the SPY gap fill. Yeah. That'd be great if it comes and does that, and then it reverses. I'll take the reversal later today. I'll be happy to do that. That'll be after a couple of hours, right? Watch NVIDIA, guys. Low of day break may happen. But yeah, up here right now in this environment, especially with news coming out shortly, very hard to trust anything. I cannot put on the kind of risk I want to put on in this kind of environment. All right. Scott, master of levels. Yes, Avi8ors levels. Andrew, how do you see my screen? Gosh, anyone want to figure that out? Because I can see it from a presenter perspective. It's not complicated. But Andrew, I believe if you search my name here, where you have all the people listed, then you'll see 2 of me. One presentation, one's a webcam. Oh yes, and unpinned Thors if you want to see mine. There's that. There you go. NVIDIA low of day break. That beautiful pattern. Look at that. Anyone in this? This is looking decent now for the continued move. Let's look at this. Yeah. Target for me would be 132.60, but you're still dealing with a lot of momentum volatility, so you'd be scalping. And that thing's been setting up for 6 minutes. And you have Tesla done for now. I got nothing else on my screens really to look at. Amazon's just sitting there. Nice. So anything y'all want me to look at, let me know. I haven't got anything going on my mind. Just sunset, really, again. Let's see, SPY. This is interesting. I like this. It's looking like, it looks more like it's turning into a false breakout than it is rejecting and going down, just because of this candlestick activity. Came down, putting in wicks as it comes down, and then the hammer, then the bullish candle. And, it's not telling me it's likely to retest. It's telling me it's likely to go up. You can see all the wicks. Again, the SPY is tricky. Okay, the SPY puts in wicks regularly. Be very careful with the SPY. This is bullish activity. You know what? Let me see if I have an idea for a long here. Did I? And not really. Sort of this level have false breakout. You know what? That's not too bad. A long here makes sense. When did I look at that earlier? Huh. A breakout here. Where's the price? 585. I take 585 calls. No, but we're within. Yeah, it's gonna take. It's not gonna work. The news is gonna come out soon. This may well run long. But the news is coming out. I can't trust it. But I think if the news was not coming out, I'd be very interested to go long here, because when I'm seeing this big consolidation area, and what you had is a breakout which happened overnight, basically. This is a retest of that breakout over here. But can't trust it. Not today. Not with everything in the news. So let it go. Anyways, that's good activity for a push up. 585 going up. I'll have to wait for the next one. All right, Tesla, new high of day. Take a look at that. Let's watch the SPY on this chart. Watch Tesla here. There you go. Something going on there, huh? So you guys who like breakouts, again, watching momentum. You know, Amazon has some interesting activity as well. Let's watch that. So what I see here on Amazon is, for, again, the ORB kind of traders, you have the big push up, and then it lost its opening price and that low of the first minute. So far, it's been holding below that. So this breakdown and a retest could be that, right? This is encouraging for that short. It's been sitting here for a while. The buyers haven't pushed it up yet, not at all. So something going on in this area, right, for the short. And it's always fun to enter when the candles are not going anywhere. They're small. You have your thesis, you have your direction. That way you can really put your stop in accurately rather than chasing jumpy candles. Much easier to do it. Much easier. Okay, Tesla, false breakout. Look at that. SPY going up. Man, that's my trade right there. Damn it. That's all right. Leave it. It's too much risk. Just cannot take that one.
And we still got a little bit of time till that news comes out, and the bid still seems a little heavy to me. So, but hopefully, we got right into a nice buying range on the ES and bought right off of it. So that's not completely surprising.
Yeah, I was saying any other day I may have taken this long. It's just that the news coming out, that don't know where it's going to jump in about 15, 20 minutes.
I mean, look at that right off of it.
Yeah. Very nice. What you got? Gurinder, you got the SPY?
Look at the precision. ES's low was 588.50. My S3 is 5868.
Nice. You're right there.
It is like so close. So, but I'm with you right now, Avi. There's someone actually I was just posting online. They were talking about like they had like a really good options winner, but they cut it early because it was part of their plan. Should they be like upset that they didn't make more money on it? And I'm like, no, if that's your plan, following the plan is all that matters, right? If I don't care if you make money, lots of people make money doing really stupid things in the stock market. You'll give it back at some point if you don't have a plan.
Yeah, stick to your plan no matter what. If you build bad habits, you'll never survive. Promise.
Yeah. And it's a snowball. It's a snowball. Constantly runs downhill. It's like crazy.
Yeah. There goes Amazon low of day break. We were just talking about it. Boom. Someone catch it. Someone catch it. That was a decent setup. Again, the last 5-6 minutes or so was just setting up. There you go. Finally broke. Anyways, cool.
Oh yeah, Amazon right off of R4. Now it's losing R3. So you're losing resistance right now. The next support level that I have on Amazon is at ATR low, which is at 198.25. So that's a pretty good drop. That's a couple bucks on Amazon. That could be a really nice drop if that happens.
Could be fun. Fun. Yeah. The room, yeah. The way I see it, Amazon has room to run today.
Mm-hmm. It's got about a 9, almost a $10 range today from ATR high to ATR low.
$10 on something like Amazon at $200. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean that's that's doable for sure. I mean you could even run like a quarter stop. You don't even have to run too tight of a stop with a range that wide.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Let's see what happens. Yeah, NVIDIA was encouraging a little bit ago, break low of day. The setup was decent, but it didn't go so far. And now
They're definitely working to hold the market up right now. They're trying not to let it flush.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're waiting for the news.
That's the thing. This news stuff, you just don't want to mess with it. See, around 937, up to 937, that price action on NVIDIA was all right. Breakdown even looked good. And it didn't go. And if you took it, you'd have been stopped out 5 minutes ago or so. And then you'd reassess it, and all you'll see is chop. So you don't re-enter it. There are times when you re-enter a trade if the setup presents itself again. If it doesn't, take your one stop and don't lose more money intentionally, basically. There's no need to do that. So you see how the whole pattern changed. All you gotta do is watch it. Oops. What am I missing here? So we got a question for you about your trading view setup. Sujit wants to know about it. The question is, can you explain your trading view setup? That's a broad question, but all right.
Yeah. I mean, gladly, but like, is there a particular element you would like described, or do you want me just to talk for like a half hour? If so, maybe we wait till like 10 o'clock or 10:05 or something like that. I don't know. I guess it's a little boring now. I can talk about it if you want, but I mean, yeah. Let me know. Let me get to the chat area so I can actually see. Yeah, Sujit, give me what do you want, buddy? Like, this is volume, this is cams, watch list.
Basically, cam setting. Is there any setting we need to be take care? And which indicator you're using? I have no idea.
Oh, if you have trading view, my cams, all you gotta do is go up to indicators and just type in Camaria pivot plays. Look for the ones by Bruz, and those are them. So Bruz is my boy. He's a talented coder and has basically just been having a lot of fun making like all this cool stuff. So like I really like these adaptive ATR limits. I really like, because this is what gives me my high and low ranges. Like I was saying, we've got a $10 range on Amazon today. That's my adaptive ATR limits that let me see that in a heartbeat. And then we've got I use my Camaria pivot plays, and then I'm using really key levels. So that pulls like my daily high, low, pre-market lows, and all that stuff can come out of that. Really, any of them they're all published. So all you gotta do is go up into your indicators and just type in the name of it, and you're good to go. You should find it in there. And then if you want, we won't have time in here, but I know most in here are BBT members. So if you come by my 11 o'clock session in BBT, I'll be more than happy to go through the individual settings with you if you want and show you what's up. That way I don't hog the mic for the whole time. This is Captain's show. I'm just co-pilot.
You're far more interesting than I am on a day like today.
I got words, so we'll use them.
I just at sunset. I'm far more interested in that right now than anything else.
It's so interesting that I have a sunrise while you have a sunset. But anyway,
Thor, do you have any alert set for R3R for resistance or S3S for support, or?
So the alerts that I use, which you would really like, is so you go into here. If you have this, is set an alert, and then what I do. So the Camaria plays, all my plays are coded in to the indicator. So like on Amazon here, or instead of Amazon, you could do like your entire watch list. The condition you actually set as a Camaria pivot play, and then set it to all play events. So it's already coded. My rules from my book are already all coded into the indicator. So then you get a little window. So like right now on Amazon, I don't have a play on Amazon. So there's no call. But like if you go to my alerts and look at my my log, you can see we got a call on Netflix and Nvidia.
Mm-hmm.
So pivot bot. So yeah, look, Amazon, it called Amazon probably because it was an R4. Look at it, came right off of R4 into a break. Or not Amazon, Netflix, I mean. Right off of R4 into a break. Pretty sweet. No, here goes the we just went into a bit of a rally off of right off of S3. Dang, I knew I should have bought that thing. Oh well. Waiting for the news.
Yeah, just waiting. Harsha, the 8 a.m. candle is different on different platforms, and it's good on DAS because it's called DAS, Direct Access. So they have direct access where the rest of the suckers don't. That's why. As far as
I always thought DOS was like a German word or something, like DOS trader or something, you know, like I just thought it was like always something. And it's like, no, it just means direct access. I'm like, that's really like not as cool as I thought it was. But anyway, thank you.
Yes. It was a direct access software or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's not very cool.
Yeah.
That's not sexy at all.
Not at all. But actually, that's the market maker stuff, and DAS is direct access to what they do at 8 a.m. The others, well, they're slow, or they don't even ever get the access all day. So that's it. The Germans, for all their engineering, their language is thoroughly entertaining. It's like they're always fighting. I'm like, wow, they're just talking normally, but it's like they're fighting. Oh my God. So aggressive.
Exactly. So aggressive. I was talking about that in BBT once and made a bunch of Germans like really upset. And they're like, it's a really pretty language. It's not. I'm like, you even sound aggressive when you're talking right now. I'm typing right now.
That's funny. Oh yeah. Fun. All right. So that SPY thing is looking bullish as it goes, but again, this is not. If I'd got into this, let's say 10 minutes ago, knowing what I know with the news coming out, I would be struggling to hold through every single little pullback.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Trade management becomes complicated when you are hesitant. So if you're hesitant, don't take it. And for me, definitely news coming out, don't take it. So I've learned that the hard way a few times. That's the reason for it. You can see it's been moving generally up, but and normally it wouldn't bother me, these pullbacks, but with the news coming, it would.
Well, I'm hoping, it's fingers crossed here, when that news comes out, this thing screams back down, you know, to 58.68 for me. For SPY, that would be back down to like 58.50, 58.40. So like, because I have a really beautiful counter trending breakout call on SPY. I mean, we hammered right there, new 5-minute high right out of the level. It would have been a really sweet long, but I'm like you. The news is going to come out. It's going to blast down into this level, take my stop, then come up and do the move I was waiting for the whole day. And I'll just be super annoyed. It does it to me so often. That's why I've just kind of started doing this. And if it goes away without me, I mean, you know, at this point, who cares? You know what I mean? I'll just get them tomorrow if I don't get a good setup today.
Yes, no, that's the key, guys. Just because you show up don't mean you have to trade, even if the thing moves. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. You make more money that way. Again, money not lost counts as well, right?
If anything, I think most of you will notice as you go through your P&Ls, generically your winning days actually aren't that bad. But what happens is you bleed them out by having just a plethora of small to medium-sized losing days. And it just eats all your, even if you have a really big winning day, you just kind of get bled out. So getting rid of those small paper cuts, you know, what do they call it? The death of 1,000 paper cuts. You know what I mean? It's like you just, you know, if you can get rid of those, you'd be surprised. Ooh, someone just came in and started selling NQ.
Oh, what do we got? So there's news. I was just looking. There's news at 10 and then 10:30. All right. Oh, forget it, man. What a slow day. And then again at 11. So after 10:30, yeah, there's probably a 40-minute window where I may get an opportunity. Otherwise, I'll wait till after 11:30, and we'll see if there's anything. Well, that's that.
Thor, since you have a book map, can you please look at the SPY at 9:47 and those giant market orders, green bubbles, with a high volume, but he didn't push it up. Does it mean that the SPY doesn't want to go up? What do you think of that? That 947 and 946 volume and the market level, market orders.
Let me see what kind of was it a big buy and it didn't go anywhere?
It was.
So in this instance, that means the algorithm or the market maker, whoever was steering the boat at that time, elected to fulfill that buy request from their inventory instead of going to the DOM for it. That's normally a distributionary tactic. So like, they're trying to basically feed premium. Now that doesn't mean we're gonna sell off, obviously, but it does mean they're not really overtly interested in going up at the time, right? Like if they wanted to go up, there's enough buying here to go up. So the algorithm is choosing to offload its inventory into whoever's buying right now, right? So it's a distributionary tactic. So generically when I'm seeing, so if you watch like Paris's tape reading course, for instance, this would be something we would consider to be like absorption, right? He would say, he's saying, oh, we should be, I'm seeing buying, we should be lifting, but we're not. So he would read that as like absorption on the tape. So we obviously Bookmap is a book as an order book, but it's also an order book overlaid with a tape, right? So the bubbles basically are our tape. So you can kind of see here, like even now, this is really interesting. The algorithm is actually pushing right now on selling, which is really bizarre. So they're definitely, this is like, so what's happening right now is the algorithm is probably doing an inventory balancing before the news comes out. So it's got a certain amount of inventory it carries. It only want to carry so much going into news. So it'll start, this is why we get really choppy coming into these events, because basically the algorithm starts offloading, and emptying its inventory out. But it's not like it wants to go down. It's just getting rid of inventory. Dang, I should have bought S3, man. It's just going now. Here it goes. All right. We still have 5 minutes till news.
Satinder, you want to know about PLTR? Would I have gone long at 124.55 down here? Yep, I have a level there, but on a 30-minute chart, let's see. Is there anything worth it down there? I don't see it. I see this as a very large consolidation area. The level further up where it is approximately now. So I basically, I don't have a setup. I don't have a setup to go long down there. I don't see anything worth it. So it did go, but not for the way I trade. Right at the bottom there. No. Did you take it? Sounds like you took it. All right. Yes. A few minutes to the news. And then 30 minutes more to the next piece of news. Cool. Satan, they're just learning. I love it. Amy, NQ. Did you go through the NQ, Thor? I don't know. Amy wants to know about that. How do you type that? Just NQ?
M and Q or NQ, whatever. Yeah, that works for me. It's technically we're on it's MNQ M25 would be the current contract, but MQ is fine. Let's see. Let me let it load. So right now, NQ has been buying pretty nicely, really large order block sitting above it right now. So, but there's very little tearing to the downside. So leading into the news right now, it looks like they're trying to push. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens here in a few minutes. One thing I'm noticing is we do not have a general lightning of the book. So Avi, something that happens a lot before the really big news events is you'll see the order book really go empty because, it's an anticipatory kind of concept because it's going to be such a big news event. You know what I mean? But you can kind of see here, like they really haven't started restructuring the book too much. So the 1030 news may end up being the one we're looking for. Because if we don't get a big market structure shift here, then it's just like we just didn't have any response.
So they're not anticipating any surprises.
Yeah, exactly. Like right now, everything seems to be going as planned, whatever that means.
That's funny. And we like to think the market is always forward thinking. So has it already gone up as much as it's worth? Or should we still go up today?
Well, you got to think of the market. it's just like life, right? There is an objective, there is a place they want to go, there is a thing they want to go do, but at any moment in time, something can get in the way. I mean, the algorithm responds to that at an instant. If a really big sell order comes in, the algorithm's going to go, guess we're going down. I mean, unless it really wants to go up. But I mean, for the most part, it's very responsive to the market. It's very, all of the emotions and fear and greed and everything that we have going on, it's all in the algorithm. It was programmed by people. So it's inherently got our biases cooked into it, right? So we can't just assume because it's a computer, it's not emotional. It actually will act quite emotionally quite often. So this is why it's so important for you to use your stops and to stay focused, because at any point in time, any one order can change its mind. So, ooh, there's a little restructuring. We just had a large bid on NQ come in down below 21,200. So that's right near low of day, or session low, I should say. Sorry.
I'm trying to see where you see that. Right at the low of today. Oh yeah, about 21.09.
Right
Okay,
here.
right there. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Oh, you spot that.
So I'm looking at right here where we bounced before.
Yeah.
So, but they normally wouldn't start tiering that order in there for no reason. Like, why put that order there if you're not going to go get it? So,
yeah. Nice. That historic level too, man. Is if you know how to read that, there's insight to be had.
All right, 10 o'clock.
There we go. The SPY jumpy. Tesla for the breakout? No. Let's see. There we go.
Man, I wish I just longed S3. I'd have been done. It just didn't get low enough. It got close. It just wasn't low enough.
For me, it was in the perfect spot. Perfect spot to go long on the SPY. But
yeah,
just with the news, I don't know. But this would have been perfect. I'd be done by now as well. But oh well. There will be others. There always are.
All right, they're buying. Since the news, the futures are looking fairly bullish. Since 10, we're buying with there's a really big order block here at 21,350 on NQ. We need a lot of volume to get through there. But we're getting the volume. Here it comes.
Yes. Gurinder, you've been holding the SPY since the bottom. Nice.
Yes. Yes.
Good work. You got a target in mind? You still in it? And this thing goes up, but not forever. You got to have a target, and I suggest. But what's your strategy? It's a big pop through the open. Today's open, we're hitting 587, which is approximately right in the middle of the big range I've got, and it is a big range. So the middle is where I'd be de-risking it, taking a lot off.
Well, I still have no calls, so I'm still sitting on my hands.
And the way you target pre-market high, we don't trust the move. Yes, pre-market high. Well, that's basically 8 o'clock high. That's 588. But yeah, when news comes out and it pops like this, very fast and aggressive, I immediately start thinking it could go the other way as well. Fast and aggressive. That's why I take it off. When I'm playing news, I'm playing momentum. So I go in with a scalping mentality. And yeah, these big pops, hard to trust. They could keep going or they could go the other way just as fast.
Yeah, it depends on the volume that comes through too, because if the volume's too light on the pop, the algorithm is going to offer a fairer value for the buyers. So the algorithm by itself will drop it back to like a 50% retracement almost every time if there's not enough volume on the pop. So and it'll reoffer. And so that's when you're really looking for that to see if the volume drops as it pulls back, and then you can get in a little lower on the dip sometimes if that happens. But if the volume is really high as they start to offer lower, that's probably going to be a trap, and you're going to get caught in a flush, Yeah. Boom, here we go. Gosh darn.
And there you go. Tesla for that break of high today. Decent setup with the momentum, with the news. Pretty good. And Scott, what are you saying? Meta, come on, man. I don't like looking at pictures of my girlfriend. I just don't like that. You know that. We discussed this last time.
Hey Thor, check out SMCI. Tell me what you think.
Who wants to go? Shit.
I went long at our first Avi level at the bottom of the 8 a.m. candle.
Yeah. I'm pulling it up now.
Big
Buying. So far, SMCI still looks like a long on the book. So if you're holding it from the Avenacci low, I think you're in a pretty good spot right now. It looks like you don't. It looks like it wants $43.
Cool, thank you.
I don't think it'll go much higher than $43. The order, unless they tier more orders into the book. Right now, there's a pretty good void above 43. So you'll probably get a really hard sell response off of 43. There might be a little sell response here coming up at 42.50 because there's a good order, but the tiering goes to 43. So it looks like they want 43.
I think Nvidia's
Another order.
Yeah. Nvidia at the high of day, the high of the 1 minute candle, the first minute, very interesting place. If it consolidates in this zone, you could have a good move up. Again, you're playing something like a 30-minute ORB. Interesting place.
All right, I just got an alert on NCL. And Tesla just alerted for me.
Yep, bright high of day. Tesla just pushing upward with the news. Fantastic momentum. And scalpers, huh? You all scalpers. Scalpers love all this. What am I reading here? Gurinder, you took SPY and Tesla and SMCI? Was that how you trade? Or are you over trading? I don't know your style, but yeah. All right. Sounds very active. Cool, man. What do we got? Oh, you're looking at SMCI as well. All right, let's look at this SMCI. What do we have? Yeah, big gap up. Broke out early. Well, not really early, but just a little bit ago. Fallen angel setup. This is behaving like a low float.
Mhm.
Don't you love it? Low float. Well, now it's just jumping around. There, you guys caught it. Good. Amy, what are you asking for Thor? There's no market makers and futures, but they do just mean the algorithms.
Well, there are market makers. They're just not people. It's an algorithm. There's no humans involving, but there's still a specialist. The specialist is just an algorithm. So, but you got to think NASDAQ doesn't have any human specialists as well. So anything that's NASDAQ listed generically, most of the offering is being done by a computer, but there are market makers that still interact, right? There's hedges that interact and kind of stuff. But as far as like actual human beings, designated market makers, that NYSE is pretty much the only exchange that's still carrying humanoid specialists at this point for the most part.
Mostly ex-football players, right?
Mm-hmm. All ex-football players from Penn State, actually, which is kind of wild.
Penn State.
I think there were like two guys that were both from Penn State, actually, which is pretty wild.
Oh. That's the problem. When you graduate from Penn State, your brain is fried. You can't really do much but trade the markets, really. You're kind of useless in society. That's been my experience.
Mm.
That's what that is. All right. I remember, Thor, you were saying there's no spread on futures. Is that right?
Correct.
It's just built to basically
Yep.
follow the SPY. And with
Yeah,
the algo.
quarter to quarter. Yeah, it just goes in
Yeah.
quarter increments. There is no spread. But not to think that you can't get slippage, by the way. You certainly can. You just don't get it because of the spread. There are times when large orders come through, and there's just not enough liquidity near the price on the futures, and you'll just get a massive rip in one direction or another. So that's one of the reasons why you got to be a little cautious on them sometimes to make sure you're in a good spot on them. And one of the reasons I like using the order book, for instance, is I can kind of make sure I'm hedging. Like on equities, I'll often put my stop below the big orders. Sometimes in futures, if I'm worried about it, I'll actually put my stop in front of the big order, just to make sure if it comes and takes me out, I at least get filled. And then if it rejects the big order, I'll just get back in.
Alrighty. Interesting. Little nuances there. Yeah.
Do that with low floats too. If you're a low float trader, same methodology. Never put your stop on the other side of the big order on a low float. You want to be in front of the big order, because in low floats, the price actually runs from the big orders, because there's not enough float to handle the large exchanges. So but if you put your stop on the other side of the big order, then that's really dangerous, because if it goes through the big order, it's going to run your stop, and there's nothing on top of you to fill your stop when it goes into a market order, right? So and if you use a marketable limit, you'll just get skipped entirely, right? So it's pretty sketchy.
Yeah. Definitely keep watching it. I wouldn't leave it alone. Let's see. That's the futures market might be the place I need to go next if I keep running into more and more problems with the options spread.
We have options chains on our futures, my friend. So I mean, we're actually working on some hedge strategies right now, utilizing futures, and then buying or selling puts or calls, basically to hedge against our. So, like for instance, R4, S4, those are very key inflection points. If you break out from them, we normally expect a run. If you reject it, we expect a pretty nice range run. So you could, let's say on a higher, wider range, you could sell R4 with the futures contract, and then you could hedge it with an options contract. If it breaks out, cut the futures contract and just hang on to the options one until it gets enough in the money for you, and then boom, you're done.
Yeah, that's great. You can hedge it. Now, is the options market on the futures open 24 hours like the futures are?
Yeah, it's open just like the futures market is.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit. No, that's it.
You can be making money on Sundays. Sundays at 6 p.m. So in the futures market opens at 6 p.m. on the East Coast, right? So that's actually like party time for you, I mean, it's gonna be
I wish you told me the options were closed and it's just regular market hours. Now that's it. Tomorrow I'm going to be right into it. That'll be it,
but
man.
we use like spot gamma and stuff like that, and to spot really high areas of open interest, for instance. And it's a really nice spot for some plays to set up, especially if you see a high correlation between like a big spot of open interest combined with some obvious on the order book, some clearing. I mean, it's a really sweet spot.
Nice. Yeah. And I did some future stuff a year ago, just a little bit, just to get a feel for it. And I was trading what was for me like noon or 1 p.m., which is like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in New York. Yeah, I was comfortable. I was like, wow, this is great. The market's closed. I made thousands of dollars. And now what do I do? This is great.
Exactly.
Don't have to hang out here till midnight, So that was very interesting. Let's see. I have to take a look at that.
Avi, Qs might be interesting to you. Maybe SPY is just away from your levels, but the Qs are the levels.
Yeah.
Levels. Maybe it's like a few days ago that we were looking at them.
Yeah. The Qs, the issues that I've run into it again is the options liquidity for the kinds of sizes I'm trying to take.
Yeah.
I got to be so careful. I mean, I sometimes eat a spread of like $8,000-$9,000. That's just a spread, and that sucks. I don't like to deal with that, and I dealt with that before with the Qs. Yeah, it's in a good spot as far as the setup is concerned. The Qs look all right. Very good breakout. I mean, shit, I'm waiting for the same setup on the SPY.
You were waiting for the SPY to be like that, but the Q is acting like that. Yeah.
The Qs are pretty strong.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of spread would you pay if you take 3,000 contracts in one go? How would that look? That's the question in my head, That's why I can't do it. Again, I've tried it with a few hundred, and it was not pretty.
For me, it's a 20, 30 contract, so it's not.
He started eating the book.
Yeah. And that's interesting. One of my mentees last week or 2 weeks ago was showing me when I took a trade, and he was showing me the options chart with the volume, and there were massive spikes in volume when I was entering and exiting. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
That's where I got to really be careful.
Well, you take the contract on, and then they got to hedge it. So, you come in and take the contract, and the guy on the options floor has to hedge that contract. So he has to go out and get something to hedge it. And, there's so much volume.
It's a lot. Like 1,000 contracts is equivalent of 100,000 shares.
Yeah.
So, and that's, not an unusual size for me. So, yeah, it's interesting how that works. That was the first time I ever saw when I hit the button, the volume spike. I'm like, uh-oh.
Andrew does that every now and again in his equities, especially when he gets on one of the ones that's maybe a little bit smaller in size. Like you start seeing him hit into the price, and I'm just like, well, because it's like I can see the market starts shaking around a little bit when he does it, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy's moving the market right now. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I've seen him do it a little bit.
Avi, you're into that. You're almost can be classified almost as smart money at that point, just with as much as you're bringing in, like volume wise. I mean, but people like guys like Avi, for instance, for everyone out there who's listening, guys like Avi are who the market is trying to find, right? They really don't care about us. They really like the Avis out there, right? The guys out there that have enough bank, to come in, but they're still retail trading. They're still getting in, they're still getting out, and there are people much larger than Avi doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So this is where you see these giant liquidation events come from. You get someone like Avi in there that's really loaded up, and then they dump their orders into the book, and there's not enough orders on it. We're moving people. You know what I'm saying? Avi's a baller. He can move markets.
It's tricky to think about, man. I still have just a toy Ferrari. You talk about bank and all that. I haven't got a real one. Gotta get out a real one. But no, there's volumes out there. My goodness, the amounts that I see people trade, it's crazy. I mean, a few $1 million in a day is not a big deal. There's a lot of people who are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Pretty wild. Scott, when I go out, you take puts.
It's actually not a bad idea.
Look at that.
For the record, it's not a horrible idea.
Oh my gosh. Be careful with that strategy.
Right. We finally found some sellers on Qs. So we around like 518.65-ish, 70-ish. Maybe it might be the quarter increment, 3 quarters, 518 and spot 75. So it's we found a pretty good sell there, and we've been selling since. But we haven't really shifted the book a whole lot. So maybe starting the anticipation of 1030.
Yeah, it's very interesting up here. When it hit that 518, 60, 70, whatever that is, it sold very quickly. So if I'm going long, I'd wait for that break of that high of day, 518.79, and then retest on the upside, basically waiting for a lot of bullish activity. I would not go long here. Not now. If I went earlier and stopped out by now, that's fine. I wouldn't re-enter yet. Ooh, NVIDIA is interesting too, guys. Again, a good example of price action. You can see where it broke through the high over there of the first minute, and it's not closed a single candle below it, or hardly. Yeah, it's just bouncing right off it. Right now, you can see that. This is a good little action, a good little piece of action where it goes and reclaims that what was previous resistance, breaks through, bounces off it, turns it into support. Big ORB setup. Big picture ORB stuff. 30-minute. And if you're looking at Avinacci style stuff, then yep, wait for the level and then you enter beyond the level, which is just happening now. Fun stuff. The SPY is still on the way up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I gotta start ignoring the news and just trade. It would have been like this. But no, you don't change your trade book just based on one little
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're tracking and you notice over the course of a week or so that that's happening fairly often, then but I still like the idea of being delicate in the news since you and I play market instruments like we do. It's just
Yeah.
it's just super dangerous, and it only takes one mistake with that to really put a hurting on your week.
Yes. It's very scary. Now, on these other things, like when I traded Amazon or Tesla, it didn't matter. I didn't care about the news. I just go with it. But this is more complicated.
Well, and those are less sensitive, you know.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So I didn't bother. There we go. Anyone paying attention to NVIDIA? You might want to look at this. This is an area of interest. All the bullish confirmation is coming.
Thor, if you look at the book map on SPY, you see that 588 limit orders came around before 10. If you zoom out, if you set that red line, that's 588.
Yep.
Yeah. You see that it was getting, yes. Yeah, that's why I'm just looking at that one. When it's just coming that heavy, what is your analysis on that? Especially
it's a target. It's a target for me. So the general consensus when reading the order book is over time with volume, price moves to size, right? So if you look at this little like yin yang I have going on up here in this little order book area, you can see right now our order book is imbalanced to the top side, and we have an imbalance of buying versus selling, right? So we're going up, right? So give me 1 second. I will be right back if I can figure out where all my stuff is at.
Now here, NVIDIA again, guys. Push up and the bounce off of the 135. 135, you can see was resistance, breakout, turn into support. That is good activity. That's the price moving up in waves. Healthy action. Very healthy. It's a sustained move. Moving in waves. Very good. I used to trade this all the time. Now I'll trade this stuff if it happens on the SPY later on. It gets up to that level. John Raff, you're with the levels on NVIDIA. Nice. Yeah, level to level, man. You don't have to do a lot. Put the orders in and walk away. And makes life easier.
$88. Go and get it.
Yes. Look at this thing. So this is a wide range. If the SPY gets up there, if I'm going to take a long, I'm trying to think what it would look like. Where do I have resistance along the way? And I see resistance pretty much halfway. 590.5, right about there. See, that was support. I put a line there. It was support there previous day or a few days back. Turned into resistance, broke out, broke down. So the long, if that happens on the SPY, about halfway to the target, 590.5 is where I expect trouble. Even have the low of that day there, but let's see how it behaves up there.
I mean, I just want to get your mindset. When you said that Qs had trouble in terms of liquidation, I get it. But instead of, for example, 3,000 contracts for you, why not 1,000? When you see this setup, I'm just trying to see how is your brain or mental works in a case like this.
1,000 won't turn me on, man.
Okay.
It's just not worth it. It's not worth the risk. It's not worth the mental capital that I have to put into it. It's not worth it. Yeah. So it won't turn me on. Why would I do it?
You're saying that you have to consume your mental capacity for something that later on you need it, but you're going to consume it now, and then you're going to drain your brain now. That's
exactly. Yeah. Now that's the real capital. To me, that's more valuable than financial capital, because if it's preserve your mental capital, you use it well, you can always make more money after you lose it. But mental capital, once you're emotionally destroyed, recovery from that is much more difficult in my experience. So something I take a lot of care with that. I'm very careful, even with the people who I surround myself with and all that stuff. It's very, very important. So that's very important. Taking care of it.
I saw some of your pictures from the ride you were doing. That looked pretty cool.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, we're just getting on the streets and being violent. I love it. These big motorcycles. Oh, great. Yeah, it was fun. I enjoy that stuff. These motorcycle gangs looks like really like gangs. It looks violent, but really it's just nice guys. All got families, got to go home and do their responsible lifestyle and all that. But just enjoy life, It just has a bad image or whatever. But I don't care. I like it. So whatever. It's a lot of fun. There you go. NVIDIA breaking the high. Let's see. New high there.
I don't know. My alert wasn't working right because I should have gotten alerted for this buy on 2K as well. So I got to check and see why it's not. It just alerted now. But that doesn't make any sense because this isn't a play. This was the play. So I got to figure out why it's alerting so late.
You put the alerts on TradingView?
Yep.
All right.
So I don't know why it's doing that though. All right, we're up at that big old order on SPY that we were talking about, that 588 order.
Yes.
NVIDIA struggling, waiting. Now also here, just looking at fractal patterns, guys, this 588 zone on the 30-minute chart on the SPY, this is where it's been messy. This is where it didn't go anywhere for a while, even though it was in the pre-market. This is a place where I'd be very, very careful. If I'd managed along earlier, this is where, again, I'd be taking a lot of it off. Just looking to the left. That's all it is.
I just got an alert on crude.
Last couple of minutes here, guys. Any last questions? Now's your chance. We'll be shutting down here in about 4 minutes.
Avi, I have a question about the SPY. If you go to look at you don't have the volume, but if you zoom out on 1 minute at 9:36-ish, look at the 9:34, 5, 6, and then 7. So those are the few minutes that I'm looking at those weeks that it's just keep pushing down, but it's just bring it up, push down, and teeth, and then I long on that 9:37 because I see the volume that there was a big volume that was selling and it is not selling it, so I long it and I exit at before the market, but I re-enter it. I'm just trying to see that those teeth that was down. Was it a good analysis that it's just trying to sell with the volume, but it's not? And was it a good idea, or what do you think?
Yeah, so on a bigger thesis, what I planned earlier was on a 30-minute chart, there's a long if it bounces off of this level. Now, as it comes down to this level, with that in the back of the mind that this is an area of support, what you're finding is the first time it got to the level, got to the area, it put in a wick. Then it dropped lower, but it put another wick. And then it put in even a hammer. And beyond that, then it put in a genuine white candle, right? Now, it's only after the white candle close I would be now thinking seriously about finding an entry for a long. Because what you've seen is, again, the buyers, they're putting it in. And then after the white candle, that's okay. Now they're beginning maybe to take it over. And even the wick was higher up. And
that's
then
that's what I entered. That white, exactly there.
Yeah, I would wait. I would still wait. What I would typically do here, I think, would be I'd wait for the next 1 minute candle to close.
Okay.
One genuine close above the level. And then only after that one closes, then on the next one, as it comes down and starts pushing up, I'd be very aggressive getting in where it's starting to push up. My stop would be just below the previous candle. And very quickly, it'd be just below the entry candle. And then, you have like 20 to 1 or whatever going up. And I'd basically be scaling in. Within the 60 seconds of this candle, I believe the way it happened, probably in the first 30 seconds, I'd be into full size. Scaling in, just watching it come down and finding those buyers higher and higher and higher. Again, it all starts from the 30-minute picture for me. But yes, this 1 minute analysis makes perfect sense. I
use the 30 minutes I used the 30 minutes that it was coming to that level. And then I came to that 1 minute and I said, look at those volume and the wicks, and then I enter it. Not just because of that 1 minute. No, that 1 minute I have been burned so many times. So I'm just using the 30 minutes first.
Yeah, cool, man. That's a good one. It's a good one. I think it's a really good piece of price action as far as candlestick patterns go. I mean, the stuff that I like to do. This is great. You can almost do this one with your eyes closed. It was just the news to stay out of it, but that's it.
Yeah, I went there and I exit and then look at the giant candle at 10 o'clock. I re-entered after that, but it's okay. I didn't want to keep it over the news because I don't trust the news.
Be careful with that entering in the middle of the range. But anyways, whatever your strategy is.
That was a stupid idea. This was a stupid idea. Sorry, but I know.
That's all right. It happens. As long as you don't blow up and you learn and you have the ability to show up again tomorrow and don't do it again. You're good. Survive. You'll survive. And there you go, guys. NVIDIA made a new high. All very slow grinding price action, but generally, for my playbook, looking positive.
A quick question for you, Thor.
What you got?
ES and Q are about to touch R3, which puts them in a selling range, and the Qs and the SPY are above R4 and running for R6, kind of conflicting with each other, and they're correlated. Where do you put your head on these in this situation?
I trade the instrument I'm trading. So generically, like all, the futures are a pool that's not technically linked to the SPY or the Qs in any way. So for me, it's really about watching the price action of the instrument that I'm focused on. Now, having the other tickers in breakout ranges and us coming off of a sell range, like for me, if I was going to short, ideally I would like to be higher, like near ATR high up near 59.30. But if this sets up a good, we just came back to we're near R3 in an area of trend. So if we start to make like a new 5-minute low here, this could be a place where we could go back to reoffer S3 again. It's a wide range. So I do expect to basically just run ranges today up and down. Ooh, that's interesting. SPY just changed. Its order book structure just completely restructured. It's 10:30. 10:30 coming out. So the order book just completely restructured itself.
Yeah, that's that news coming out now.
Yep. Well, sweet people. I'm going to take out of here because it's 10:30 and I got 30 minutes to grab a little breakfast before I have to be on at BBT at 11. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out. Good luck with the rest of y'all's trading day, and I'll see you on a bit.
Awesome. Thank you, Thor. Thanks, guys. I'm going to go as well for my mentees. We're going to be on in 30 minutes at 11. I'll send you the link. Take it easy, guys, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Take it easy. See ya.